Okay, so now that you've learned all the letter patterns, how to play them on the guitar, we're going to go deeper into each one of them individually. Later, we're actually going to combine them together, but for now in this video, we're going to focus on just one of them by themselves. That's going to help you to remember the fingering, how to actually play it physically on the guitar. Also, being able to just immediately put this into practical application, so it's going to sound good, it's going to sound like music, you're going to have fun doing this, and to be able to hear really exactly what all these different modes sound like, because like I said, they are all going to sound different. We're going to start on the minor here, we're going to play some minor stuff, we're going to go into major, C major, we're going to play in this Dorian position, the Phrygian, the Lydian, and the Mixolydian. They're all going to sound really, really different, even though we're playing the same notes, okay? We're just starting from a different letter, and because we're starting from a different letter and playing the same exact notes, it's gonna make it sound really wonky, okay? Nothing really too complicated here. A lot of people get confused about this, but I'm telling you, it's like super easy. So we're gonna start with the A here, and I'm gonna first give you the tab, and then I will give you demonstration and show you what the exercise is. So again, we're playing in octaves here, so we're gonna look at the 3 different octaves of the A pattern, the A letter pattern. So we're gonna start here on the 5th fret, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8. On 2 strings, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8. Okay, the next octave, the next place that you're going to play the same shape is on the 7, on the 4th string. 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10. So 5, 7, 8, 7, 9, 10. Here we go to the 10, 12, 13, 10, 12, 13. Of the first 2 strings. So same exact pattern, 3 different places. You'll notice that we have a very long scale here that sort of ranges from the very bottom of the guitar to the very top of the guitar, and it's really nice to play in this position because we have 3 different octaves that we can play through. And actually, if you think of the piano, I think there's like 10 different octaves in the piano. Like, you have extremely low notes and it goes, and then it's the next octave, and the next octave, and then it's the next octave, and then the next octave, and then the next octave, next octave. So it goes all the way up through like 10 different octaves. On the guitar, we have like 4 maximum. We have 1 at the very low, 1 in the medium, and then 1 at the high, and then we have maybe 1, if you're lucky, all the way at the top here. So we have 3 octaves or 4 octaves to play with, and the piano's like very, very long. So this one scale shape actually takes us pretty much through all 3 of those octaves. It goes low, medium, and high, and then there's only 1 left. So it's pretty much 75% of the entire guitar is fitted into this one scale shape. So that's very interesting to note. So anyway, that was the minor position, 5, 7, 8, 7, 9, 10, and then 10, 12, 13. So let's go ahead and I'll put on a backing track and I'll solo along, and then you can just kind of practice that. Alright, so I just went to YouTube and found an A minor backing track. It sounds really good. Let's go and get started. Just gonna go through these 3 shapes and do some improvising. Alright, so just a little bit of jamming through the 3 different positions. I was trying to make something that sounded okay, and that was the A minor position, okay? So hopefully you got the sound of A minor in your ears. That's how minor sounds. This is how all the minor sounds on the guitar. If you go to F minor and you play it in minor right there, like, it's going to sound exactly the same pretty much. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit higher in pitch, but I guarantee you're not going to really hear very much of a difference between, an F minor, an A minor, whatever. All the minors sound like minor. Now, let's go ahead and look at the B, okay? Now, the thing about the B is that we're not actually going to use a backing track to solo with it. We're just going to play through the 3 shapes and just, just kind of hear how that sounds. So, on your guitar, the shapes are going to be 7, 8, and 9, 7, 8, 10. 7, 8, 10 on 2 strings. 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10. On the next string, it's going to be 9, 10, and 12. 9, 10, 12. On the next string, 9, 10, and 12. On the next 2 strings, it's going to be 12, 13, 15. 12, 13, 15. And that's going to be the B low chord scale. So what you're going to do is just play through this a few times. You're not going to use a backing track because it's not going to really sound like very much. And there we go. We're just going to play through it a couple times, and then we can head on to the major. So let's look at major, which is going to be 8, 10, and 12. 8, 10, and 12 on 2 strings. Then we head over here, which is going to be 10, 12, 14 on 2 strings. Over here, it's going to be the 13, 15, 17, and 13, 15, 17. Okay, so 8, 10, 12, 10, 12, 14, and 13, 15, 17. So now I'm going to find a track, backing track in C major, and you can see here, if you just look for C major backing track on YouTube, you should be able to find something cool. So hopefully all the acoustics sound good, the volume levels for the guitar and the music, hopefully it works. So I'm going to be in C here. Stop it there. So that was the C shape right here, and whatever. I'm just trying to make a little bit of a solo, make it sound kind of cool and all that. So now let's head up to the next 4, which is going to be D Dorian, E Phrygian, Lydian, and Mixolydian. This video might go on for a while, but just kind of practice along with it basically. So D Dorian, I'm going to go find a backing track in D Dorian. Now, even if you don't really understand this mode concept super good, it's okay. Like, just put on the pretend this is another minor scale. Just pretend it says D minor. It's not really minor, it's just a different variation on the minor scale, and it's gonna sound really nice. But let me give you the tab first, so you can see it is different from the A minor position. So the A minor was 5 7 8 5 7 8, right? So that was the that was pretty easy right there. Good position. But now when we shift this to D, it's gonna start the same way: 10 12 13. But on the next string, it's 10, 12, 14. So we kind of have like this extra space here where, like, before in the minor position, it was the same on both strings, and now it's different. So 10, 12, 13, 10, 12, 14. Alright, so that 14 is a little bit, makes it sound really dreamy. So we're just going to solo a little bit, and I'm going to try to use the 6th note a little bit more in my soloing, because it's the one note that makes this whole Dorian thing really feel like Dorian rather than minor, because all the other notes are the same as minor, but here it's the 6th note that's sort of brought out a little bit, that last note. Okay, so anyway, the tab is again going to be 10, 12, 13, 10, 12, 14. On the next octave, it's going to be 12, 14, 15, and 12, 14, 16. That extra note change at the end. Here we're going to be a 15, 17, 18, and a 15, 17, 19. So again, that 6 has been sort of tweaked up a little bit. It's been sharpened. Okay. So that's the difference between the minor scale and the Dorian scale, is that 6th is now sharpened. And so it's going to actually make it sound a little bit happier than the minor scale, but at the same time, like, it's really weird. It's going to have a weird feeling. So you're going to hear this and you're going to get that finger position under your fingers, so you hopefully can understand like really what Dorian is. It's just kind of a small variation on the minor. And we just start off the letter D instead of the letter A. So D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Starting and ending on the D. So let's go find that backing track and I'll do a little soloing. I messed up a little bit at the end, but anyway, you can hear how the Dorian scale sounds really like dreamy, like, you know, it sounds weird, and it's only because of that extra 6th. If I was playing this in minor, it would sound like really different. But I mean, we're using the same exact notes as we are in the minor scale. It's the same: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, or D, whatever. So anyway, same notes, different sound. Now, let's head up to the E Phrygian. It's going to be at the 12th fret here. Now, actually, I'm going to start the E Phrygian down here at the 0 because I like playing the low Phrygian. Although you could also play it here and sort of go up. But we're going to do it at the low fret. So it's going to be a 0, a 1, and a 3. On the next string, a 0, a 2, and a 3. 0, 1, 3, 0, 2, 3. Okay, in the next position, that's a low octave. In the next position, it's going to be a 2, a 3, a 5, and then a 2, a 4, a 5. 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5. So again, this is a variation on the minor, and you'll find that the second note, a minor was a 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, equal on both strings. Over here at the E letter pattern, I'll play it again at the 12th fret, so you can see a little bit easier here. It's the 12, 13, 15, so it's no longer going to be, you know, 2 spaces for that second note. It's only going to be 1 space right there, and then we play the third. So 1, 2, 3. That's a 12, 13, 15, and a 12, 14, 15. Okay, so basically that second note has been sort of flattened a little bit. It's been brought back. Instead of pushed up forward like the D, it's been brought back. Now that second note is going to make this whole thing sound really intense. It's going to make it sound really sort of evil-like. So that Phrygian scale sounds pretty cool. So I'm going to go find a Phrygian backing track. It's probably going to be something metal. Found a good metal backing track. It's going to be E Phrygian. I need to tell you what the notes are. So again, it's going to be a 0, 1, a 3, and then a 0, a 2, a 3. Then we've got a 2, a 3, a 5, a 2, a 4, a 5. And here we're going to go to the 5, 6, 8, and 5, 7, 8. 5, 6, 8, 5, 7, 8. On those 2 strings. So those are the 3 positions where I'm going to be soloing in. And again, you could play it here, but for some people it's a little bit too high on the guitar neck, and I like it to sound on the low end. And if, like, those are the same sounds, right? If I play it here at the 12th fret, it's the same as playing it here. You can see tone is slightly different, but it's the same pitch. Here we have the that octave there, which is the same as here, same notes. And then here, maybe I might go up to this very last one, very, very high fret. So we got 4 octaves here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is basically the biggest, longest possible scale on the guitar. Is maybe you could do it at the F as well, maybe even the G. Anyway, so I like the E Phrygian scale. I'm going to play the backing track and I'm going to do some soloing. Ready? Let's check it out. Alright, it's a little bit difficult to hear the guitar behind all that nonsense, but basically it's this. Sounds really cool, really evil. Alright, let's head up to the next 2. This video is taking a bit of a long time, but we're going to try the Lydian, and then we're going to try the Mixolydian. So here is F Lydian. I'll give you the notes first, and I think I'll go back to clean here. So, taking off the effects. And here's the F Lydian. So we're going to start at the 1, the 3, the 5, then a 2, a 3, a 5. 1, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5. Next, we're going to play on the 3, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. Next 2 strings, 6, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10. 6, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10. And that's F Lydian. So I'm going to go find a Lydian scale backing track, and then we'll do some soloing. Now, the unfortunate thing is that not very many people compose in these scales. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. They all sound really cool. There's not very many backing tracks in these different keys. So some of these backing tracks may not sound as cool as the minor and major ones. It's just kind of the way it is. I encourage you to just, I don't know. So here's the F Lydian backing track. It sounds a little weird. And let's do a little bit of soloing. Alright, so that one didn't really work out as well as the other ones because, well, I don't like the backing track. It sounded a little odd. You might want to just kind of find a better one or something. There's very few Lydian backing tracks out there. It's sad, but I guess, you know, I guess this whole concept is just really difficult to understand or something, you know? Like, everyone says they're really confused about these modes, but I mean, so far, like, it's just a shape. It's a shape. I think the reason why people are confused about the modes is because they don't understand the triad the triad plus one concept, the thing I was talking about in my previous videos on jamming, where there's like the triad. Like, when you play those triad notes, it's going to sound really good, like it fits everything. And when you play other notes, like, I don't know. Anyway, so let's just kind of go into the last one, G Mixolydian. This video is becoming very long here, and we're just going to do the last backing track here, Mixolydian. Now, I actually know very good backing tracks in Mixolydian from the Grateful Dead. So let's go ahead and go through the notes real quick. 3-5-7, 3-5-7, next string, 5-7-9, 5-7-9. Here we have 8-10-12 and 8-10-12. You'll notice that this is the exact same shape as the C scale. So basically the reason is because the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are all the same, and the 7th is actually the note that changes. Now, I actually forgot to tell you about the Lydian one, so let me just kind of go back real quick, tell you what the Lydian one. So let's go to the C scale, 8, 10, 12, and 8, 10, 12. That is the C major scale. Now we also have the 7th, which is going to be on the 9th right here. So notice how you sort of indent it. 8, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12. That 9 is the 7th. And then we sort of return to the 1 here, if this makes any sense. So as we go to the Lydian position, this is another variation on majors. So we're basically going 1, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5. So we're sort of like indenting the second string. That 4th makes everything sound really, really like a spy movie or something, or no, like a detective movie or something. Sounds a little weird. So very spacey, like very spacey. Now that's the 4th. The 4th has been sort of shoved up one, like kind of boop, indented a little bit. The 7th is remain unchanged. And now as we go to the G here, the first 6 notes are the same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th is actually flattened. We pull back the 7th, we make it a little bit swaggier. You can actually hear the swagness in this. It's very bluesy. Very bluesy like. Whereas the 7th in major is just normal. Very normal there. It's nothing special. The 7th in major, in G Mixolydian, the 7th is brought backwards, so we swag it up. Alright, swaggy, right? Okay, so we've got the G now. We took a look at the sort of the changes to the major scale. These are all just variations on the major scale, right? Mixolydian and Lydian, these are 2 variations on the major. The Dorian and Phrygian are variations on the minor. Just one note changed, and then it's all different. Okay? We're not actually changing the letters, we're just changing the shape. So, anyway, here we got G. It's going to be 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 8, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12. So, I'm going to go find a G Mixolydian backing track. I already found one. Sounds really good. And here it is. Now, just so you know, I'm not using the 7th because it's not part... Oh, let me pause this here. I'm not using the 7th because it's not part of the letter pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're not even using the 7th. That's sort of the problem with these little letter patterns, is that the 7th is not included. But it's not really a big deal because it's more of a visualization thing than getting all the notes perfect, I guess. It doesn't have to include that 7th. It's not a big deal. You can just kind of, if you want to play a 7th, here's the 1, right? So you go back from the 1. I mean, it's easy to visualize with the 7th is you go back from the 1. Or you can go up from the 6. So anyway, so I'm not using the 7th in that thing. So anyway, just a little bit of a demonstration of soloing in all these different patterns. The G pattern, again, we're not using that 7th, but whatever. So hopefully this whole thing was a understanding or revelation to you, because this is the awesomeness of music, is that it's not just major and minor scales. There are all these modes that you can play in, and as long as you kind of understand what they mean, then you can use them. And with these letter patterns, I think that you'll be able to easily master all these modes. So go ahead and just kind of check out the paper. You know, maybe you have to jam along with this video again. It's sort of a jamming along with video you can do, so you don't have to just watch me the whole time. You can actually just jam along. But anyway, if you saw this video and actually did that, then that'd be cool. If not, well, I hope you enjoy the shorter ones. This one is pretty long. Anyway, thank you, and I'll see you again.